So one of the things I really love to do on the first day of class is play board games with my kids. But in the area of social distancing, I don't think that's going to happen. And the game that I really love to play to start off my American history class is Secret Hitler. Now that there's issues, of course, with the Hitler part, but Secret Hitler is important, I think, because it lets me share out some of the important parts of uh, government, right? So what is fascism? What's liberalism? Why would a country fall into fascism? What are the signs of fascism? These are all important conversations we have that come out of the board game. The other reason I like playing the board games is because it lets me have an opportunity to get to know the kids. Board games are a great way to just have a conversation, right? Organically. We can come together, we can kind of goof around with each other. And this Secret Hitler game is a bluffing game. It's a hidden card mechanic. So there's a lot of really cool things going on here. But with social distancing, can't really do much touching cards, passing back and forth. We're going to be starting in a hybrid model. So I'm going to have about 8 kids in my classroom along with me. And that's the perfect amount for this particular game, which can go up to 10 players. Now, usually I would be the one playing with them. But in this case, what I'm going to end up having to do is be sort of the game master. And then I'm going to let the kids play, and I will walk them through the steps. I'll encourage their conversations and so forth. So I have 2 main slides, and then each student is going to get their own particular slide. So the students are going to see this projected on the board. And this is kind of the main game board. So they will get a tile every time every time they pass a policy, or it might be a fascist policy. I figured out a way to this transpose import range. I'll show you that. So I figured out how to get the powers on there, and then it gets replaced by the tile. I am an enthusiastic amateur with these spreadsheets. This is what each one of the students will get. And each one of them will have their own spreadsheet, players 1 through 10, and they can fill out their name, but the rest of this is protected, so they can't monkey with any of the formulas or anything. And as they go along, this is my tab. So this is the Game Master tab, and I will assign the students their role, and I can go here and change this if I wanted to. See, we have fascist and fascist. I changed Hitler to fascist leader because I didn't want to call anybody a Hitler, and it changes their cards. Okay, so they can see their role here. And part of the game is that one of the presidential powers is that they can see the other player's cards. So they can examine another player's party membership. So I can show them, say, player 3. They can see that, and you can see their names are all here. One of the things is that they need to be able to pick tiles. So the president, whoever's the president, would be able to see 3 tiles, and then they'd select them. So I can go in here and I can say this is the president. And I did this all with drop down so I don't mess up the numbers. And that automatically changes here. So we can see, there's the president. And these are the 3 tiles they can choose from. Now, I couldn't figure out how to do this digitally. So they will say, I want cards 1 and 3, because they're not allowed to tell me I want the fascist and liberal. So I want cards 1 and 3. So then what I can do as the game masters, I can go here and say the 2 cards that they wanted. One was the liberal, and the other one was fascist. And then just because I have this pulled up, one of the parts of the game is they get to elect a chancellor. So let's say player 1 was actually the chancellor. They would then be able to see these cards, and then the chancellor would then be able to go and tell me I would like tile number 1. And then as the game leader, I can say, okay, well, they passed the liberal tile, and then that will project up here. If it were a fascist tile, that would change here. You can see the fascist tile. That is replaced right there. There's a lot of fun little nested if statements that go along with this. So this is the nested if statement that allows me to replace that. If you're interested in this, I'd be happy to share it with you. The problem is you have to reconnect all these things, and I wouldn't want anybody to go and mess up all the coding. But I will make some copies and share them around.